Why did I set up the mentoring lab? Do you want the short version or the full extended version? Okay. This answer is really for people who have worked and kind of sacrificed their career to work with young people and have worked at the ground level, haven't necessarily gone up into management, or even the leadership team, the senior leadership team. I set up the mentoring lab because having gone from working on the ground, doing face-to-face delivery, going and working as manager and then managing borough-wide projects and programs, when you sit up here, you can see that the voices of those who know the young people, care for the young people, really know what the young people need, is not being heard here. I set the mentoring lab up because young people deserve to be heard, and many mentors, not many, but most youth mentors and youth workers are their advocates that are not being heard. From those who are applying for funding, thinking about projects to work on, writing reports. And this is not a dig to anybody that is sitting at senior leadership. This was the reason why I set up the mentoring lab. On top of that, having seen that many youth organisations at the community level, now this is not a dig to anybody that has a youth organisation at the community level, right? I love all of you, yeah? The quality of the youth organisations from the community level are just not good quality enough. So schools won't necessarily use them, local authorities won't necessarily use them, and they just kind of sit at the community level but aren't able to make a good enough impact. And I just wanted to bring a high quality structure, or a worthy structure that gives us little people a voice and a say in the programs and the projects that we run for young people. Basically, that's why. That's the short version. Why are you looking at me like you want the rest? I'm not used to talking about my own business. Okay. This is what I will say. I look young, but I have lived life, and there's a reason why I engage really well with young people, especially those young people who are from the hard to reach backgrounds. But this is what I will say. To give you a quick overview, I was raised in St Albans, Hertfordshire. I was raised by a community that were gifted because they were from the Windrush era, and they looked after us and they cared for us in a way that no other generation has looked after young people and looked after their community. As I grew into my teens, that Windrush community kind of started to break away. And when I was going through teenage difficulties, I didn't have anybody there, really. I had my friends, but we were all getting up to badness. So it wasn't really good. I mean, contextual safeguarding in my early years was a big, massive factor to who I am. Escaping racist St Albans, I came to London and then realised there's a different type of racism, and really saw the limitations that young people had living in London, even though they had more opportunities than most people would have in the country. Yeah? So that really for me was a driving force to set up the mentoring lab. I really wanted to give back to the youth sector, and I really wanted the mentoring lab to be a voice that is not necessarily heard in the youth sector. And I will actually say as well that my mum's story, and she can speak for herself, is embedded into my story, but she can kind of speak to herself. She had a lot of challenges, issues, difficulties, upset, tears, raising my amazing sweet brother.